So I think my favorite part of sensation and perception so far has got to be what we learned about color. Specifically, I think it makes you kind of rethink how we perceive the world and what the world really is, and it kind of shows what separation there is between that. So going right into it. The fundamental points that we learned in class is kind of color is fake. Kind of. It's a construct of your brain. It's what your brain makes up in your head of what these wavelengths of light are. Like what we see is completely made up by your brain. It's just wavelengths of light. They don't have kind of an inherent what it looks like, which kind of leads to the question is like what I describe as red. Does it look the same as you, even though you know that it's what you're seeing is called red? It could look different from what I'm seeing. And it's impossible to describe color, kind of backing that up. And I think that separation between even human to human, like we can't even know if that's the same. What does that look like in animals? Like they could see totally different things. And that is kind of true. Looking at a few examples, this is kind of what the presentation is going to be about, is how animals see the world differently. And first is these rattlesnakes versus the California ground squirrels. It's kind of evolutionary battle between these based on how color is seen. So this species of rattlesnake on the top left there is, you can see the specific species in the caption. It has the ability to see infrared light, basically giving it heat vision. It can see things that are hot, as kind of like the predator does. As you can see in the bottom, that image represents kind of what thermal cameras humans have designed can see. So that's an idea of what they can see on top of whatever other light they can see. And one of their items of prey, the California ground squirrel, has evolutionary evolved a way to combat that by heating up its tail, which makes the tail bright, in quotations there, because we can't really know, but it definitely stands out for them, and it's a survival mechanism that they use to deter it. And interestingly, these squirrels do not heat their tails up against snakes that do not see heat vision. So I don't know what the squirrel's thinking. I don't know if the squirrel even has any idea why it works, but the squirrel just knows that it works, which is kind of cool, thinking that these animals' lives, they're doing something. There's an interaction between these animals that's totally invisible to humans. So the next cool animal example is the mantis shrimp. So this is a type of shrimp that has really cool colors, as you can see, and there might be a reason behind that. They actually have 16 different types of photoreceptors in the retina, as opposed to humans 3 that we learned about in class. So that obviously gives them the ability to see a huge range of combinations of frequencies and wavelength and different colors. Definitely way more than the 3R can come up with. So it's very possible their world is just filled with colors that we can't even conceive, like colors we would never be able to comprehend even in our mind, possibly, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. They're looking into the same world as us, but seeing totally different things. Finally, even going beyond color, birds have a particularly interesting mechanism in their eyes helping them migrate. So it's a pretty impressive feat that birds can go these long distances and stay on track and know where they're going. So how do they do that? And the answer is the Earth's magnetic field. There's a good amount of evidence out there supporting that birds have a mechanism in their eye that allows them to see Earth's magnetic field. And see is in quotation marks there on the left, because we don't even know what that could possibly look like to them. Like, it's not even color, it's magnets. Like, it's not even on the visual spectrum. And the article that this information is from ends with a pigeon scientist saying it's a mistake to think we live in the same sensory world as other animals. So that's kind of hits home on why I think color and vision is one of the coolest things we learn about, because we can look at these other examples and how we see color ourselves and realize that the world around us that we perceive is so separate from what's actually going on out there. And there's all the sources for everything if you're interested in finding out more.